Hey y'all, hopefully you can hear me. I got my Bluetooth on. I decided to come live because I'm leaving Atlanta, getting back home. Um, right. Number two, because my ride partner, my Nynee-Poo, has completely tuned me out in a millennial manner. She's on her own. She even had a bid when I was gonna put her name in the title. I'm like, you ain't got to be on video. Your name, because I am road tripping. So I'm trying to do better about posting videos, live videos by myself. It's usually just me and Tony, a business partner. So y'all that don't know me, I do the home based business. Me and Tony try to do it live every Tuesday and Thursday. It don't always quite work out that way. Go through our spells of being live, not being live. Anyway, I'm used to having him as the sidekick, but I do need to play. I was like, I got to tell him. Now, I have, look at my followers, I have over 4,000 subs. But when I first signed up to start doing YouTube, I wasn't really doing it to be a content creator. So I did the page, this was back in like, I think 2012. I did the page, I posted some videos, and then just kind of forgot about it. So what I was supposed to do was I had just started doing my econ, home-based business, and I was trying to do like little posts, to create a buzz around the home-based business. So a lot of the ones that I did were me and my daughter. So we did this one particular one, and it's still on here. And I think I titled it something like my daughter got all A's, but I don't believe in paying for grades or something like that. Well, apparently, that was the jackpot because if we did that video, we posted it. And then I came back later, and well, I didn't come back there. My cousin hit me up, and he was like, "Cuz, how you get all those followers?" I'm like, "What you talking about?" Because I hadn't even been back on the page. So he was like, "You got like over 1,000 followers." I'm like, "What?" So went back and looked at the videos I had posted. And that one particular video had gotten like, at that time, I want to say over 200,000 views. And it was all kind of comments. And keep in mind, it was like almost a year later. I hadn't looked at, hadn't been back in with this video. Nothing. So then, I still didn't, start doing anything. So I came back to say, it's going to now. These Georgia Coco was going to be playing. And I tend to have a heritage. But came back like, I'm going to say another 6 months later. And it had got up to 400,000 views. And then I had like over 3,000 subs. Now, because my daughter at the time was like 5 or 6 years old, what I figured out was a lot of the subbies were kids. So, kids sign up for subs and then they don't get that done no more once you figure out that you're not really posting anything. But like the subbies have maintained, but I never had the watch hours because I didn't do a lot of videos as a content creator. So people start telling me, you got them things, you need to try to get monetized. And then I found that you got to have like 1,000 watch hours. That's a whole nother monster. I'm like, when I checked last, I had like 130 watch hours. I'm a long way from 1,000. So, I had been hanging out with some people like, I was talking to the judge table, and I was talking to Geo. I'm a member of the Geo, team deal with Geo. And she gives a lot of advice on channels and another YouTuber that I picked up with this candy more. So they were telling me, the best way to get your hours is to go live. And then, like, I ain't never been a live person. So this is a preacher for me. And right now, since I see I have 0 viewers, that's why it's going so good. Because I ain't talking to nobody. But anyway, so I am trying to build up my channel a little bit and get more watchers. What I usually talk about is finance and personal finance, home-based businesses, things like that. That is my side business that I do. And it's not, a lot of people consider it just to be a hobby, but it actually is a business that I put full-time work into. And it includes video posts, and we use it in person meetings to teach people how to do a home-based business. But other than that, I do post a lot of silly, like I have a very silly personality, so you'll see a lot of social stuff I post where I'm in like really TikToks and all that type of stuff. And my daughter over here used to be real good about being my partner and jumping on and doing those with me. But now she'll be 13 actually she'll be 13 1 month from yesterday, March. So, you know how it is. They start getting to the teenage, it ain't cool to do stuff that we can do a lot of fun. So, yeah, maybe when she gets past this stage, I might become cool again right now. Am I not cool, Cooper? I'm not fine. She's not fine today, so I'm going to take that as I'm not. But it's okay, because I know I'm cool. We were just laughing a few minutes ago because one of my claims to fame, which apparently I need to quit claiming, is my, what do you call it? Trying to do accent. Like, yeah, you said what? I swear I can do a good British accent, Australian accent, Scottish, Irish. I can do an island. Yes, you can do that, but that's better. I can do island because now I was married to her father for how long was that? 5 years maybe? And he's Jamaican, so I lived down in South Florida, so I did hear it a lot. So I can kind of do that one. But I think personally, I don't think there's nothing wrong with my European accent. But I'm not going to too tough embarrass myself to find out. But what I tend to do is stick with stuff I know, like for my Australian, for example, the dingoes got my vibe. That sucks. Okay, that's Australia. No, that and let's put some shrimp on the bar, baby. Not even close. Not even close. Putting too much into it. But I mean, I gotta put something into it. I can't just sound like me or I'm gonna be an athlete. Yeah, but you're over exaggerating. Okay, she sound over exaggerating. Okay, so you're over exaggerating with all your accents. That's the only problem, just being honest. Okay. Everybody's pretty. Anyway, my British accent. And I get all these accents from the shows that I watch. So, because of her, I watch a lot of Peppa Pig. So, Daddy, don't even sound British. You just saying it wrong. Daddy. Then I also did, what is the British? Oh, not Bloody Lord, boy. No, too much. She said no on that too. Irish, they're more delicious. Lucky Soup, they're more delicious. You know, but she's missing. And I forgot what I did, but I don't know the Scottish one. I don't know what I did. My island. I used to talk, I always say, what I say? Oh, I don't fancy those. I don't fancy those stuff. And she's my girl, my little island girl. So, I can do the island. Anyway. saying now, for some reason, me and my friends always end up getting into these. It's always me and two other people that form a little friendship, you know. So my friends here in Georgia are people that I met in college. Like I have friends from elementary and high school, and usually me and two other people, you know, whatever. I don't know why three just is the number for me just to forget them. So then when I moved to Birmingham, I had people. Because I'm from the country, I'm in North Alabama, the country. Portland, if you're not from Alabama, and even if you're from Alabama, anyway, very small, population very small. But since then, you know, I've moved around a little bit. So I moved to Birmingham, and I didn't make friends in college until like my last year of college, because that's the day I was time. I moved to college to Birmingham College, to the University of Alabama, Birmingham, places. No places. Anyway, I didn't really make any friends or anything when I got there. So I used to say all the time, as soon as I walk across the stage and get my diploma, I'm back home. And then it just so happens, I met my two best friends, Stephanie and Tanisha, in college. Stephanie was from Alabama, and Tanisha was from Georgia. So we all kind of clicked, and I wasn't really looking to make it friends, because I had decided that I'm just trying to get out of school. I don't care nothing about making some friends. I want to get this diploma, get the heck up out of here. So when we met, it was just kind of like everything lined up, and we just have to get friends. That was in 1996. Now it is 2023, and we've been rolling strong ever since. We our little friend group, we call ourselves a good time group. Not because we get out and have good times when we party. Now we did get out and have good times and party later. When we was in school, we called ourselves good times group, because just like James and Florida Evans and JJ and Michael and Fowl, we ain't had no money. We were broke as a joke. So, I'm going to tell y'all the story. Maybe in the effort to do more lives, I can talk to them and to get on here with me sometimes, and I can do some story times about our college days. We were just, but praise the Lord, God's good. We have all gone on to reach some level of success, thanks to college was a complete waste of time. But yeah, we were broke. So we were good times. We still call ourselves good times. And I came up here this weekend because now, even though we all went to school together, Stephanie and Tanisha now both here in Atlanta. Well, they live outside of Atlanta. They're not in Atlanta. Stockbridge, Hampton, here in Virginia. So, now Stephanie trying to get me in 2020. And of course, 2020, around in September, we were in the height of the pandemic. So for her 5th year, we ended up doing a Zoom surprise party for her. It turned out like, it's not exactly what you want for such a milestone, but we made work. And we were able to get, I think there was over 20 people on that Zoom call. Well, she turned 15. Tanisha is a year ahead of me. So she turned 50 last Friday. We usually travel and try to, you know, do something. So for this birthday, she went to the Dominican Republic. Because I hadn't been 100% health-wise, I didn't want to make the trip and be a wet blanket because I can't do all the things I wanted to do. So I stayed home. So I felt really bad because I didn't get to celebrate with her, you know, 50 years now. I will be 50 next year. I'll be 49 in April. So I got a whole year to try to get myself together. But those these helpers, when I tell you, they know how to do this. They know how to get it right. Because both of them look good. They both did photo shoots for their birthdays, and they turned out really, really nice. So, I can't say they're people, but they don't look people. So the whole purpose of coming up here this weekend, after they got back from the Dominican, because she was out of town, Tanisha's family didn't get to celebrate her 50th with her. So they wanted to do a surprise get together for her. So we were invited to that, which was this past Saturday, yesterday. So, I'm in North Alabama. When I was in Birmingham, it was cool because I could be in Atlanta in a couple of hours. It takes an extra hour and a half that way. But I mean, I'm used to driving. I did a job for years where it was 100% travel. In the areas I had to travel to were North Carolina, South Carolina, Virginia, Tennessee, Georgia. So every week I was driving somewhere, out of town. I don't know if it bothered me since I got older though. Driving at night now just, and I do not like driving at night. So we left Saturday morning, headed up here. Not only was it, and it was that worst of rain. That rain is like not hot. You think it's hot enough to turn the wipers on. You turn them on. And then you're like, it's not hot enough to turn the wipers on. You turn them off. A few minutes later, like, I should have left the wipers on. So many times rain. And it was really, really foggy. And this weather has been so crazy. I'm sure it's been crazy all over, but it's been real crazy out there. It's like, let me say, was one day too, which days were cold? I think Monday was alright. When I said alright, out there, it's like, it's February, it might have been in the 60s. I'm gonna say Tuesday and Wednesday, it was in the freaking 80s. Like, it was 80s. Well, Thursday, it was like 30s. So when I said this wasn't crazy, it has been absolutely crazy. So, we got out yesterday morning. I didn't know what to expect. The weather was kind of cool. But that drizzling rain and that fog was so thick. Usually fog get rolled in the morning, but as the day goes on, it clear out. It was foggy like for the first 2 or 3 hours of my drive. So, I hate driving fog. So yeah, I didn't like driving it. And it's funny because when I was younger, I was thinking when I was driving. When I was younger, we first got out of college, we had finally got jobs and stuff. Thinking we was doing it, we were big time. We weren't big time, but we were definitely moving this. So Stephanie and we were roommates after college. We stayed in Birmingham. I didn't take up my stuff when I walked across the stage and go home. I did anything. So we were roommates from like 97 to 2000. So we were in Birmingham, but she moved back to Georgia because that's where she was from anyway. So she moved to Atlanta. And like, I used to rip and run up the road to Atlanta like I was driving 5 minutes up the road. I get out work on Friday, so it's closed late. After the 5 o'clock traffic pass for Birmingham, hop on I-20 headed east, and then right at 2 hours, I could be in Norcross, Georgia, the time where she was in. So I would go on Sunday sometimes. I wouldn't come back home until Monday morning, like I get up at 4 o'clock in the morning and just come on straight back and go straight to work from Atlanta. That was when I was like 23, 24, 25. Now I'm almost 50. I'm not rolling like that. But I know, spur of the moment, because there would be times where me and Tanisha be talking on the phone. She's like, let's do this on. I'm like, okay. You got enough gas in here? Because if you cash flow, if you got enough gas in here, I got you once you get here. That's all I needed to hear. So I get in the car, roll out. In Georgia, that was back in our club days. We were going to Club 112 if you know the history of the same group 112, got their name from Club 112 because Puffy, back then he was still Puffy. He did it, and all this stuff. He was Puff Daddy. So Puff Daddy had discovered him at 112. So we was up in 112, we was up in Gesto. I think Club Gesto was on Portland Street. And Jermaine Dupri used to be there live, and the other rappers and stuff that was like, they weren't huge groups. Yeah. And back then, that was before Ludacris was still Ludacris. He was on the local radio station as a DJ. His name was Chris Lover. So he would be at the club. So, yeah, we would go to the club and hang out till 2 or 3 in the morning. On Friday, we go to Wednesday. I think one time was fun on Friday, and then somebody been really on Saturday. And then on Sunday, I would hang out, and you know how it took one, I'm like, man, I don't feel like that. I can't do it anymore. Then when in the morning rolled around, man, I don't feel like that. But you ain't got no choice at that point. I got to work. So I did that. We did that for a long time. And then I'm going to say in like 2000. Yeah, it was 2000. I decided to go ahead and move to the town. That was very short lived. I didn't care for another traffic. And that was all I needed to make me bring my ass back home. So I'm gonna say I stayed for like a year. I moved in 2000, I moved back home. Somewhere late 2001. And it just so happened the job I left, I called them back. And my boss was like, I heard you were hiring somebody. Can I have my job back? And he started letting people like, you know what, believe it or not, yeah. You can move here if you want. So I came back, right on back to the job I left when I moved to Atlanta. So, yeah, Atlanta, that traffic, I couldn't do it. I thought Birmingham traffic was bad. Atlanta traffic. And I later ended up living in places where traffic was crazy because I didn't live in Charlotte, but when I was traveling, a lot of times I would have to go to Charlotte for rush hour. That was hell. So I did that for a while. And then that still wasn't as bad as Atlanta. And when I went to visit New York, I actually did some driving up there. And it was like, it wasn't during like hot traffic hours. I was there for the weekend. But even that, I felt like was not as bad as what I had to deal with in Atlanta. Then I moved down to Florida, so I was dealing with that Miami traffic in South Florida. But for the most part, I lived in Broward and I worked in Miami, but I pretty much used the expressway, the turnpike. So turnpike still, I mean, it wasn't as bad as 95 because of course that was a toll, whatever. But the turnpike only went so far, and then I still had to get on 95 to go downtown Miami because the hospital I worked at was downtown Miami, so you still had to do that traffic. It still was not as bad as Atlanta traffic. Whenever I go down there, like, oh, hey, Gio, good to see you. Girl, I've been here talking to myself. I'm glad to see somebody out here. I'm taking your advice. And since I got to be on the road traveling right now, I'm leaving Atlanta, headed back home, and I got a couple of hours to drive. Since she suggested that I hit the button and go live, I decided to hit the button and go live. So I've been on here talking to myself while my mini-me over here has been ignoring me for the last 24 minutes. So it's nice to see somebody to come in and know I ain't just talking to myself. But I was talking about I came here this weekend because one of my girlfriends, one of my best friends from college, she turned 50 last weekend. And they went out of town to the Dominican Republic and I wasn't able to go. But her family threw her a surprise party when she got back. And we drove up yesterday morning to come to bed. And now we're here back home. So she was surprised because she didn't expect to see us. Well, she was surprised because she didn't know that was a party, but she was really surprised when we came walking in the door. Do I have radio? No, I don't have radio on. Is there background noise? It might just be the phone. Or, you know what? I have it on Bluetooth. That may have something to do with it. Maybe I should have just said, should I just drive it out the Bluetooth? Because I didn't even think about the sound. Is it bad? The Bluetooth off. Is that better or worse? It might be. It might be the same. Now, I don't have one of these. Oh, okay, good, good. She says now it's right now. Yeah, I don't have one of these fancy new like electronic cars. My vehicle is like a 2000. What is it? 2012. So you probably hearing all them little seats and holes and air pockets. But I want to. Oh, okay, good. You can hear me good. Okay, I'm one of them people though. I believe in driving the car until the wheels fall off. It ain't nothing wrong with this car. This car is paid for, and Nynee-Poo got to be 13. If it's still running when she gets 16, she might be driving it herself. Because if it ain't broke, I don't want no car note. But anyway, yeah, we came up to surprise one of my best friends because she turned 50. And I was saying, these helpers turned 50 right. They look good. Like my other best friend, she turned 50 back in 2020. Tanisha turned 50 last week. I will be 50 next April. I need to start working on it now, else I'm gonna have to postpone turning 50 for a few years until I get right. Because they have taken really good care of themselves and they look really good. They both of them did photo shoots for their 50th. So I'm like, shoot, y'all gonna make me work. But I was talking about the difference between 48-year-old me and 23-year-old me that used to run to Atlanta every weekend when I was in, because I went to school at UAB, that's in Birmingham. We're only about 2 hours at the most from Birmingham to Atlanta. So I used to jump in the car and head to Atlanta like I was driving down the street to run to the grocery store. It wasn't nothing to leave when I throw some clothes in the bag. When I get out of work on Friday, I would hit 20, headed west, no, east, 20 east, come in club on Friday and Saturday night, and either come back Sunday evening, or if I didn't feel like coming back Sunday, which I always regretted, Monday, but then I ain't got an option no more. I would get up Monday morning like 4 in the morning because they're an hour ahead of us. So if I left at 4, which is 5 my time, I could get back and be at work by 7:30. Now, I wasn't gonna be no good at work. I was just there for the time for them 8 hours. But I was present and accounted for. But now I don't have that. My dad always used to call it, we from the country, he called it car cushion morphine. I don't have that car cushion morphine no more because he called it that because he said the old folks said your ass didn't feel satisfied unless you was sitting on a car cushion head somewhere. So they called it car cushion morphine. But yeah, I'm over that now. I don't have to go. In fact, I have to be talked into it sometimes now. But we had a really good time. And now I feel bad for my baby because unfortunately her mama is old. So now these two friends, they actually they don't have children. They're still well, Tanisha's divorced, Stephanie hasn't married yet, but they don't have kids. So like, unfortunately, when she go with me on road trips and stuff like this, if they do have kids, the kids is grown. So she don't have nobody her age to hang out with. So I asked her if she wanted to stay home with Granny for the weekend. She didn't really want to do that, so she rode with me. But then we we went over to the birthday thing, And what was funny was, you know, even the conversation changed when you get older. Like when we used to go to little sets and stuff and hang out when we was in our 20s, you talking about fun stuff. Shoot, we in there last night talking about neuropathy, arthritis, uh, pain medications, all kind of stuff. So I know Nate was like, I don't want to hear this. But luckily, these millennium children, they can just pull out their phone. I told her, I said, when I was your age and we had to go with mama to visit older people, we didn't have no phones, no games, no nothing. You just sat there and looked at the wall or looked outside. Hey, Marlene, how are you doing? Thanks for coming on. I've been talking to myself for the last 20 minutes, trying to get some live time. I'm trying to do better about going live, especially by myself, because I'm bad about only going live if I got a partner. But yeah, the conversation last night was an old folks conversation. But when we used to go with my mom and go over to my granddaddy's house, and I'm talking about when I say I'm from the country, it was a country part to the country. Where we lived, where my parents lived, at least we had like neighbors, like houses next to us. Where my granddaddy lived, he lived on a road, on like a side road. And people, like, you didn't drive down this road unless you had somewhere to go. So you didn't even see no, at least where we live, in the community, you saw a lot of steady traffic coming through. The only thing we saw at my granddaddy's house, his house was the only house there. Sometimes 18 wheelers would come through, and me and my brother would literally, you know how people use the phrase kick rocks. We would stand out because he didn't have a paved driveway. He had gravel. We would kick rocks. We would throw rocks across the street, see who could throw them the furthest. If it happened that an 18 wheeler would come, we'd stand out there and do this and try to make them blow the horn, which they did. But we were so bored. It was like watching paint dry. And like, it was four of us. I'm the oldest, and I got three brothers. My brother is right next to me is a couple of years younger than me. And then we have the twins. They're 8 years younger than me. So when my mom would want to, she would go, like, we were in the country to the point that people use the phrase go to town. When she was going to town to take care of business and stuff, because we didn't have, we had a grocery store, but we had like Piggly Wiggly, one of those overpriced grocery stores where you only went to that one. Like if you just really needed something and ran out of something, but you would go to like Kroger or Winn-Dixie or Food World, some of the bigger ones. You're going to have to drive 30 minutes to get to those. But like if you just ran out of flour or toilet paper or something, you can run to Piggly Wiggly, but you're going to pay a whole leg. So we had that grocery store. We didn't even have. There was it was something similar to a Dollar General, but it wasn't near us. It was on the opposite side of the little town we lived in. So we didn't have traffic lights. We didn't have sidewalks. It was just like the whole town is like two. I always say two streets big. It's like you got Highway 20. You got this side of Highway 20 that we lived on, and the other side of Highway 20 that everybody else lived on. And then a couple of side streets. But, we hadn't lived nowhere else, so that's all we knew, so we was all right with it. It wasn't until people would come and visit that they point out all the stuff that we didn't have. Yes, Gio, it's a very small town. I tell people all the time, when I graduated high school, my high school was a class of 26. 26 graduates. Some of the bigger classes, like, may have had 50. But in the whole high school, and that was grades 8 through 12, you probably had maybe 300 students. Shoot, these days, graduating classes have twice that much. My daughter's school that she goes to now, the middle school, has like 1,400 students. I'm like, I don't even think it was 1,400 people in the whole town, to be honest. But yeah, it was like one of them towns where you had to drive, to go to. You're going to drive 30 minutes. Like, we even have fast food. They still don't have a fast food restaurant. They got like, how you had a gas station where you could go in and get the, fried chicken and potato wedges and that type of stuff. They had that. But we didn't have a restaurant. Uh, but like I said, you could get to where you were going in like 20 minutes, get to the bigger area. But there was a lot of land, but not a lot of people. They still had a lot of cotton fields and all that type of stuff. But yeah, so when I moved to Birmingham to go to school, Birmingham is like, for Alabama, that's the biggest city. And, we had heard all the horror stories and all of this. And it lived up to its name now. It wasn't the safest place, depending on where you live. But it was just like a whole new experience coming from dirt roads and stuff I was used to down in the country. You didn't have no north or, well, if you had north and south, you didn't use it because you just got on the road and drove. So I still remember, and I laugh about this now. I would get on the road to go to school, leaving my parents' house. It would take me from where we grew up to get to UAB in Birmingham was probably about an hour and 45-minute drive. Oh, thank you, Marlene. I only got one. Me and my daughter. It's a tradition. All of the oldest, which it ain't but a bunch of us, but like my mom, me, because I'm the only girl. My daughter is the only girl. My brother's the oldest daughter. We all have one dimple, and it's on this side. So that's like the family. We didn't get it on the other side. It's just that. But thank y'all. But that's the family trademark for the oldest girls. We got that one dimple. And the second daughter didn't get it. My brother has two daughters. The second daughter didn't get it. So you mean they can actually do a dimple surgery? I didn't know they could do a dimple surgery. But yeah, now, and I thought my daughter was gonna end up with two because my ex-husband, he has two dimples, but she still just got the one on the what side we got on the whatever side that is. I ain't good with left and right. I tell people all the time, I think I missed that day in school because I had to think really hard about left and right. But yeah, I didn't know they could do a surgery. Hey, viewers of you, how you doing? It's good to see you. I didn't know they could do a dimple surgery and give somebody dimples. But yeah, and I don't think I got three brothers. Oh, thank you for saying thumbs up. I appreciate that. Yeah, my brothers, the three of them, none of them got dimples, but I got the one. And like I said, it's like it's so crazy because we come from like a. You right? I guess you can. Like if you got the money, you can get anything done. Can't you? They'll figure out how to do it. If they don't do it. But yeah, me and you still want it? Okay. Just do like this for a long time to keep your finger there. Like maybe you can just, it'll impression in there. Try it first before you pay money. But it's funny because like in my family, I come from like a really huge family. Well, huge. Well, I consider it huge, especially compared to families now. Like my daddy, he had my daddy got 14 brothers and sisters. Now, 10 of them were his mama's, dad and mama's kids. But Papa was a Rolling Stone. And he went out and got He went out and got two sets of twins. And the crazy part is, once the first set of twins was some girls. They the same age as one of my uncles, one of my daddy's brothers. That's like so granddaddy had one on the way with the wife and a set of twin girls on the way beside you. And then, as if that wasn't enough, he came back. I think how many years between them? I want to say it's 4 years difference. He ain't learned his lesson the first time. He done went back and got another set of twins by this same side chick. And these were boys. So it's 14 of them because it's instead of twin girls, it's twin boys. And he's had them twin boys. He had his wife, my grandma, pregnant again, and she had a boy. So I got 3 uncles that were born in 64, and I got 2 aunts and an uncle that were born in 60. So, that math wasn't math and either. But the cheat was cheating though. The math might not have been math, but the cheat was cheating. So, so that's on my dad's side. Now, you got 14, and I want to say all of them except for I got one uncle on my dad's side that didn't have any children. Everybody else got anywhere from 2 to 7 children. So, do that multiplication. And then on my mama's side, it's like, how many of them? I think it's, and that papa was a Rolling Stone too, because she got a half brother and a half sister. But I think it was 12 of them that was with my granddad and grandma together, and then 2 outside. So it's 14 of them too. And then she said it was 2 sets of twins that my grandma miscarried. Was, I don't know how y'all do it, but my mama's mama, we call her Big Mama. And my dad's mama is Grandma. So Big Mama had a couple of sets of twins too. So needless to say, twins run in the family. When we got ready to do the family reunion, I was trying to get excitement stirred up about this. So with the family being so big and so spread out, because you got to think about, and this is for my dad's side, but they like, we got folks in California, a lot of them in Ohio, let's see, where else? Florida, Tennessee, I think, and then, a good bit of us are here in Alabama, so we don't know each other. I got cousins, so I ain't never even met. And I think when we did the count, because I was trying to do family trivia, so I think I have on my dad's side alone like 57 first cousins. Out of them 57, I want to say it was only 18 girls. The rest is we a boy family. But what's funny is now that the generation has flipped, it's different. Because like when I was growing up, I was the only girl and I got 3 brothers. Well, now it's 3 granddaughters. Ain't no grandsons. All of my cousins, because I think pretty much all of my cousins had girls. So we done went from being a boy family to a girl family. They can't get a boy around here now to save their life. Anybody having a daughter. We don't even ask no more what they have. that's how much the universe is balancing itself out. And I used to say all the time when it was just me and them 3 boys, I'm like, and then the girls started coming. I was like, I feel the power shifting. I can feel it in the air. But then I thought about it, I was like, shoot, I know power shifting. I was in charge anyway, so I ain't right nothing. I was running things. I was always in charge, even if I was the only girl. Because I was the oldest. Oldest one. We set the. Now, what it really was. I was one of them sisters that was real. I ain't gonna say bossy, but I believe in order. And it wasn't so much the twins. Like I said, I'm 8 years older than the twins. So it wasn't too hard getting them to stay in line. It was the one right next to me. He like we really 2 years apart because I was born in 74 and he was born in 76. But like his birthday in November, mine in April. So even though we 2 years apart right now, come April, he gonna be 46 and I'll be 49. So you know how that goes. What you say? Okay. Babies, it's 2 babies at a time. Too much. Shoot. And my mama, and you know what, Gio, you talking about 2 babies being a lot. I remember when the twins was like, my mom has always been an at-home mom. My dad worked, and my dad didn't really want us doing babysitters and stuff like that. So he took care of home, and she was at home. So when the twins came, she didn't have no job, but she put them in daycare, and I didn't understand that. I'm like, why they going to daycare? My mom said I was tired. She was like, you try staying at home with these children, with these babies all day. When they turned 2, she put them in daycare, and she dropped them off and picked them up like she was dropping them off, and she was going to work. So, now that I'm grown, I ain't mad at her, but it didn't make no sense to me. I'm like, why are you taking them to daycare? I'm like, you don't have a job. Shoot. When Nelson said, speak for yourself. I need a daycare. So, and it's so funny because back then, we thought it was expensive. The twins born in 82, so this would have been like 84. And they went to a Christian daycare that was part of a church. And it was for both of them, it was $40 a week. And I was like, $40 a week for 2 babies? I thought that was a lot. Shoot. One time I had mine, I did good to get, I think when she was a baby, because my baby came early, she was preemie. And I really wasn't comfortable putting her in daycare anyway, because, she was my first kid. We were living down in Florida. I didn't have any family there. I just didn't really feel, and then when she came early, I was really like, she was supposed to be born in May. She came in March. So I was like, I don't want her exposed to, all of the daycares and germs. I'm germophobic anyway. So it just so happened when I was down there working, when I was I was a supervisor at my job down there. So, I kind of got to know my staff and stuff, or manager or whatever. So, and I would come in to work and I was telling them, how nervous I was about the fact because I'm already old. I didn't have her until like 10 days before I turned 36. And the crazy part about it was I used to say all the time, because I do medical coding. And with coding, if a mother, when you are starting to code for a mother that's having a child for the first time and she's 35 or older, the code you give is elderly preemie gravida, meaning you an old woman having your first baby. And I was like, I do not want that code on my chart. I do not want that code on my chart. So I was like, if I don't really have a child, because I got married, I got married on my 35th birthday. So of course, if I was gonna have kids, I really did want kids. I've always loved children. I didn't think it was gonna happen for me. So she's been a blessing. I was telling her today, and I tell her all the time, how she completely changed my life, and I wouldn't trade nothing for. So I have dimples too. Yes, like I said, I just got the one, but I love seeing people with dimples. But yeah, I'm down there in Florida. I'm trying to figure out what I was gonna do and everything. So I went to work and I was talking to and this girl was real quiet. She didn't ever talk much and nothing. So she said, I would come in every day and I was talking to them and I'm like, Lord, what I'm gonna do? Because like I was talking to it was a cleaning lady that worked there. She was nice, she was cool, but she was from Colombia or somewhere. And her English wasn't all that great. And she had told me, she was like, I'm telling everybody, Lord, what am I doing about this baby? So she was like, well, I only work part-time. I might could do it for you. And I'm thinking to myself, well, but I ain't gonna I don't speak Spanish. My baby will be coming home talking to me in Spanish. I don't even know what to do. But that's how desperate I was entertaining the idea for a minute. But it just so happened that one girl at work, she was kind of quiet. And she told me one day, She said, my mom said she'll keep that baby. I was like, what? I said, you for real? So her mom was on disability. And I haven't been working there for, I'm going to say about a year. So I had kind of gotten to know him, but I ain't know him. But you know how sometimes the Lord just kind of give you this discernment. And you kind of tell. I always say I've been blessed with good discernment because I can tell from the jump whether a person is going to be somebody I'm going to vibe with or if they not. And I rely on it real big. So the vibe I was getting with her was like, okay, let me see what it's about. And so, she told me, and after she told me, I think she told me that when I was about 4 or 5 months. I swear to God, I came to work every day. And I was like, your mom still gonna keep my baby for me? She was like, yeah, because I'm just like, it was my first child. I'm living in South Florida. My parents are in Alabama. My mama can't be here. I'm old. I had health issues with hypertension anyway, and it was hereditary. I had been hypertensive since I was 18. So, of course, when you get pregnant, hypertension is a big deal, and they had to take me off my regular medicine, which worked great, and put me on this crappy stuff that you can take while you're pregnant, and it wasn't working. So they put me on that. I had to see a neonatologist. I'm going to the doctor every week to get an ultrasound and all of this stuff. It's like it was the worst experience ever. And I used to tell her all the time, you better be working. But I would talk to her, if I thought I was, I'd be like, oh, you better be working. I was sick the whole time. And, sometimes I hear people complain about throwing up. I wasn't throwing up, but I had them daggone dry heaves. So every morning, nothing come out. You just doing that for 25 minutes. So I'm like, oh, Jesus, it was a bad experience. And then, my back was hurting, my feet was hurting, I couldn't sleep right. Wasn't nothing going right. And when I would go every week, they would do the ultrasound. Then they had to do a stress test. Anybody else, I would be in there. The other little women coming there, they come get their stress test. They flip it through their magazine and, got the little thing on. Because with the stress test, you have to keep it in position so they can track the baby's heartbeat for at least 5 minutes straight. That's not help for them move hardly ever. Every time they put that darn stress test on thing on me, I got to be moving it around like a Ouija board, trying to find where she at. See if we can get a heart rate. And then I come over there and be like, well, we almost had it, but she moved. So what other people was getting done in like 5 minutes, I'm sitting there for 30 minutes trying to get a stress test done. Then I come back next time, they telling me she ain't moving enough. They want me to do kick count. I'm like, you literally want me to count how many times she kicked all day? And it wasn't hard because she wasn't kicking. Really, it wasn't a whole lot going on with that. So I had to do that for a week. Then, when I came in every week, they wanted me to keep a log of my blood pressure. So I take my blood pressure 3 times a day, every day, faxing it over to them. That was just a mess. Then I go in and they tell me they was concerned because of something going on with the kids. So they made me go home, do like this 24-hour urine test, like this orange bucket, you take it home, you pee in it. You gotta keep it cool. So I'm like, how am I gonna keep pee cool? So, I'm innovative. So I done ran a tub full of water, poured some ice in there. Every time I went to the bathroom, filled up the jug and set the jug in the ice water bath so I could keep it cold. I was like, this is too much. This is too much. So finally go back and they tell me in March, like I said, she wasn't due till May. They tell me in March, Miss King, we think your kidneys are failing. We're going to have to admit you to the hospital. Oh, Lord. But they tell me this. I'm right here crying. I'm like, if I go home and promise to be good, because I'm a germaphobe. I didn't want to be in the hospital. They said I was going to have to stay in there until I had a baby. And she wasn't due till May. I'm like, you want me to go in the hospital in March and stay here till May? I was crying. I called my mom crying. I was like, I don't want to be here. You know, tears just falling. She was like, well, you got to do what you got to do for the baby. I'm like, I know, but I don't want to be. And then it was the worst hospital bill. They put me in one room, stayed in that room. Then they had to move me to another room because they needed that room for something else. Next room they put me in, it was a leak. And I was in Boca Raton. If you know anything about South Florida, Boca Raton is old money. So I thought, this is gonna be fancy smancy. Apparently, I was in the Boca Raton County Hospital or something because I'm like expecting, you know, and I didn't live in Boca, but I worked in Boca. So when the doctor told me I need to go immediately, that's where I went. But I was disappointed because it wasn't fancy or nothing. I was like, wait a minute, I had to be in luxury. But I was just in a regular hospital. So I went over there and like I said, I didn't want to stay. But I'm glad I stayed. The Lord was there. He knew what I needed to do because what happened was I went in, like say, on a Monday. By Thursday, you know, I missed my baby shower. Everything. They had planned this big baby shower for me at work. I couldn't go because I was in the horse pillow because the old folks had fell from. So I didn't get to go to that. So it's so funny because I tease my baby about it now. I say, you so nosy. So they was having a baby shower on that Thursday. By that Thursday evening, I had her. I said, your little nose tail want to see what you had got at that baby shower. That's good. But what really happened was, and I was glad I was where I needed to be because what happened was the nurse noticed that her heart rate had started dropping. And I know usually when I went to go have the ultrasound, she was breached. The whole time she was breached. So I went, they did an ultrasound, she was she did that. She never turned that way. So then, you know, next time she was back breach again. So I'm assuming that all of that flipping and flopping she was doing in there is how she got the, you know, how the sometimes the what you call it, the cord, the nuchal cord, it ended up getting into a knot, and that's what was causing her heart rate to drop. And of course, you know, I couldn't feel anything. I didn't have any indication based on how I was feeling that was happening. They just got it because they kept me on, you know, kept the monitor on me to measure her activities, and they noticed the heart rate had dropped. So they came in and told me, and it was so funny because my husband had been by there. He went to the baby shower, and I was so disappointed because he got a chance to go and I didn't. But he, you know, he a man. He from the islands. He's Jamaican, so he a real laid back, nonchalant about everything. Wasn't nothing exciting to him. So he go to the baby shower, and the folks at work like, girl, your husband, everything we pulled out. Everybody else oohing and he held it up for 5 seconds, put it back down. We didn't get to look at the stuff good. He was like, he had to go to work. So he ran through, did that. So he had gone to work. And in South Florida, if you doing that rush hour traffic, it's hell anyway. So he was going in at like I think 4 or 5, something like that. So he had headed to work. Now because my kidneys was failing, my dad, you know, I have a brother that has some mental stuff going on. So somebody has to be with him. So both of them couldn't come. My dad, and this is always so special to me because, like, my mom got pregnant with me before they got married. So he was they had graduated, that was some of the fast tales. So when I was conceived, he was 18, she was 19, or something like that. So he had, even though he knew he had knocked that girl up, he took his tail on up to Ohio to go to school. So, you know, I just told y'all how small the town is. So some of his sisters ran into my mama in the store, seeing my mama a little old beat or something, seeing that belly poking out. Honey, they ain't waste no time going back home telling my grandmama. My grandmama wasn't no joke. So they done went home, told her we seen my mom's name is Queen. We seen Queen up at the store. She pregnant. My grandmama got on that phone. She called up there to my dad because my dad, like I said, it was 14 of them. So he had finished school, and you know how a lot of them down south when they finish school, they go up north for work. Well, he went up there for school. But he had an older brother that's like, let's see, I think my uncle maybe 11, 12 years older than him. So he would have been like, my dad is going on 20. He was 30, married, established. So he came up there to go stay with him. He ain't told nobody about his little package he got on the way at home. So he visited, he just called from my grandma who did not play. And she called him and told, first thing she told him, you knew that damn girl was pregnant when you hopped your black ass on that plane and went to Ohio. If you don't get back down here and take care of what you need to take care of, you go. So anyway, I came in April. School didn't get out until, it was back in the 70s, so it ain't like he could just hop in the plane willy-nilly. He had to wait until the semester was over. So when he finished school in May, he hopped on the plane and come on back home. And so he didn't meet me until I was already a month old. And so when I was having her, he asked my mom if he could be the one to come. So him and my brother that's right under me, he was living in Atlanta, and my dad was in, we're from Alabama. So they got in the car, drove all night, got there that Thursday morning, matter of fact. And so I looked up there, they were walking through the door, and I was, no, what happened? They had taken me around to get the ultrasound. We come back in the hospital room, and they were sitting there. And you talking about somebody was so glad. I was so glad to see my family. I didn't know what to do. I wanted to jump up out the bed and hug, but I was, still not doing all that great. But I was breathing all over myself. So they had drove all night, and they left to go get some rest. They went back to my house where they said they were going to get them something to eat and go get some rest. So when the doctor comes around to check me at 5 after all this thing happened, he was like, we're going to have to deliver this baby. And I was like, but ain't nobody here. He said, well, the people who count here, I'm carrying you here. I'm like, So anyway, long story short, we was heading around to the I had a C-section. So we was heading around to the delivery room, and right as we was going around the corner, my daddy and my brother were coming back to the hospital, and I said, I want him to come in because my husband was stuck in traffic. He didn't get back there until like she was born at around 6 o'clock or 10 minutes to 6. He wasn't able to get back to the hospital from Miami up to Boca. It took him to about almost 7 o'clock to get back up there. By that time, Naya had to come and we used to being in the world before he got back to the hospital. But anyway, my dad was able to go in with me for the delivery. And that meant a lot to both of us since he wasn't there. He was there for the other 3 boys when they were born because they got married when I was 18 months. So, and it's so funny because my brother next to me, I was at the wedding, of course. He always like, when we was younger, why I couldn't come to the wedding? I said, I wasn't supposed to be there. But he always felt left out because he went at the wedding. But I wasn't supposed to be there either. But anyway, I did appreciate the fact that he was able to be there with me since he wasn't there when I was born. So, and he always tell my daughter all the time, I saw you first. I saw you before your mama even saw you. I was the first to see you. So, I was so sick when I was in there trying to have her. I have an allergy or something to anesthesia. And when I tell you, they gave me that whatever they give you, epidural, whatever. I had started feeling hot and nauseous. Next thing I knew, I was throwing up all over the place. So once they delivered her, they kind of flashed in front of my face real quick and then took her away. And I didn't know what night it looked like. They could have came back and told me anybody was my child. Because I was so sick and throwing up and stuff. So they immediately gave me something to knock me out. I didn't wake up to like 2 in the morning. And when I woke up, that's when they asked me if I wanted to go. Of course, she was in Nikki. So they asked me if I wanted to go around and see her. I'm like, yeah, I want to go see her. And I was like, Lord, I ain't gonna know which one man. But it just turned out she was the only girl in the nursery. So it was no mistake. I knew which one man. But yeah, that was my harrowing experience. And so my friend, my employee's mother, she turned out to be a gift from God. And like I said, that $40 a week that they was paying, was it a week or was it a month? It might have been $40 a month back in 1984. I don't know, but that wasn't nothing compared to because and I tell her all the time, we still close to this day. I told her, I made her my daughter's godmother, and before I left Florida, I told her I would always, we wasn't gonna lose touch, and we haven't. I still talk to her all the time. We go back and visit and stuff, but she took care of Naya from when she was. I think I went back to work when she was 8 weeks old. And she took care of her from 8 weeks up until right before she turned 2. Because she was like, I feel like she needs to be with other kids and stuff. She's smart and all that. And I'm like, is it more money? You need more money? I can give you some money. Because at first we were paying her 125. And she wasn't a lot of trouble when she was a little, but they get to be more of a handful when they get up to size. So we started paying her 175 a week. So when she told us she thought she would go daycare, I freaked out. I was like, "You need more money? We can try to get you more money." She was like, "No, it's not even about the money. She needs to be with other kids." So, but we were thankful for her. I told her really proud for what she did for me and the comfort she gave me because I could drop her off and then I didn't even have to worry about her. When I came to pick her up, when I got out of work, she would be clean. She'd have had a bath. She'd be fed. All I had to do was take her home, put her in the bed. So that in itself was like priceless. I had enough money I could ask for, or I could give her to make up for that peace of mind I had from knowing that she was taken care of and she was in good hands. Their business has come to a halt, and I've been fussing because she was at home all Christmas break. I didn't get not one video. She on TikTok all the time. I hadn't seen a TikTok video. Uh, and they do that stuff in their sleep. So I tell all the time, you need to start promoting your business. We can promote it, but it sounds better coming from y'all because y'all the ones who doing the business because it's the hand sanitizer, the hand sanitizer. So I got cases, a couple of cases of hand sanitizer at home that need to be on somebody's hands. But we did good during the pandemic. We did better, of course, during the pandemic because it was so hard to get. So people were just glad somebody had it. Well, after the pandemic calmed down and the stores had more of it and their prices were lower, then it was like, more competitive and people so at that point they just buying it to support the girls because they so young or whatever. And so a lot of the orders were appreciated, but I guess you know how it is with business. It's supply and demand. Now you can run to the store and get some hand sanitizer in a 2 ounce for $1. So the $3, but people don't realize when you're doing a business, you having to buy the supplies, you having to we made the labels. They had to literally fill the bottles themselves. It's a lot of work that go into that. So we couldn't compete with the dollar bottles considering what we were spending to do the business. So we couldn't lower our prices a whole lot. Selling on eBay, I guess, and some people suggested Etsy too. So we need to look into that. So we have gotten to the point now after we sold the bulk of it that we had batched up already. We were just kind of doing it on demand, and we haven't been promoting the website and stuff like we should. But I feel like I said, she about to be 13, and Tony's daughter is about to be 15. They old enough that we shouldn't even have to be involved in this, really. We shouldn't even have to be doing anything with this. She and Tyler, because her name is Naya, and Tony's daughter's name is Tyler, so that's why it's Ty and Nine. Ty and Nine should be the one doing the promoting. They should be the one doing the. They already were doing the, you know. I went and had a bunch of the labels printed out, but they were doing putting the labels on. And the only thing I really did was I went to the post office and did the mailing and stuff. But they did, the work of it as far as being hands on. But you know, if you don't advertise and you don't let people know what you're doing, then that's the whole key to making sales. So, I was hoping that they would get more. They were so into it at first. I gotta get some gas, y'all. They were so into it at first, and making doing the photo shoots and um taking the pictures and all that stuff. So now that it's kind of like, what they say, the new wear off. When the new wear off, kids don't be interested in it like they used to be. But what she should be interested in is the money. Crickets. She should be interested in making the money. But when you're not the one having to be around here paying the bills, you aren't as, But I do want her to keep that entrepreneur spirit, because although college is very important and I'm promoting it and everything, I think being an entrepreneur and being able to take what you learn and have your own business will get you way further. And then you do a lot better in college if you got a skill or something, how people, I know a lot of people when they were in college, it was somebody in the dorm that braided or somebody that could do hair or different stuff. I want her to have a skill that she can use while she's in college to be making some money, so that when she graduates, she don't have to get out trying to figure out, number one, how she gonna pay all this money back, which I'm hoping we don't have to do with a lot of student loans. And number two, already be ready to get out there and do what she needs to do. Yeah, you're right, Marlene. She does have to have an interest in it. And it's like I said, when the new wear off on stuff and it goes from being fun to being a job, you know, it's not as all, they're not into it like they used to be. But I was hoping with the whole TikTok craze that everybody's into, that would, because she's very creative. We like doing, she does her own thing now, but we both have a creative side where we like doing the videos and making the posts and all that stuff. So I just wish she would gear that more towards the business. So I take some accountability for it, because I probably should be pushing her a little harder, but I got a lot. I got enough to do. I already got enough to do. So anyway, I guess I'm gonna wrap this up. I've been at least y'all helped me get down the road for an hour and 13 minutes. Now we still got 2 hours to go, but I'm finna get out and gas up. I gotta fill up again. We didn't fill up. We didn't have to fill up when we left Atlanta because I had to have the tank. But now we're probably about 45 minutes away from Birmingham. If I fill up now, that'll get me back home and still probably have about a quarter of a tank. So thank y'all so much for joining me. Y'all made it so much easier for me to talk. Because even when and I'm glad you jumped on Geo to let me know about the sound quality, because I don't know next time, don't do the Bluetooth. Just go ahead and just do it without the Bluetooth. Because I hate to be talking all that time and either couldn't nobody hear me or the sound was terrible. But I appreciate y'all for joining me. I will catch y'all next time. And thanks again. Bye, y'all.